Okay, part two of this evening's uh, discussion of the aerial toll houses. As I say, we'll have to do this readings for the Holy Fathers over probably 3 or 4 videos because of the shortness of time that we have. But let's thank Saint Theognostos uh, on the practice of virtue. Inexpressible is the soul's delight. When in full assurance of salvation it leaves the body, stripping it off as it were a garment, because now, attaining for what it had hoped, it puts off the body painlessly, going in peace to meet the radiant and joyful angel that come down for it, and traveling with him unimpeded through the air, totally unharmed by the evil spirits, rising with joy, courage, and thanksgiving, comes in adoration before the Creator, and it has allotted its place among those akin to it and equal to them in virtue until the universal resurrection. No toll houses. They don't get to stop it and ask it any questions. Nothing like that. And what is it to have assurance of our salvation? First of all, we have to accept that Jesus Christ actually did accomplish that the demons don't have any power, authority, or rights over any soul. Jesus Christ did not fail. The demons are not going to make up for what Jesus Christ failed to accomplish. And you're not going to make up for it either by going through some kind of aerial purgatory. St. Hippolytus of Rome, that's the last one we'll have time to read this evening. Now I want you to listen to it, and sometimes you hear things among these writings, say from the Philokalia or some of the fathers, like Theognostos. For example, we know very well that it would be a heresy to teach that the body was a prison of the soul, that the soul was trapped in the body, or that the body was simply discarded. You know that's a heresy yourself, and many of the Holy Fathers have said that. So you mustn't understand St. Theognostos as teaching a heresy contrary to the Fathers, and the figurativeness of his language has to be seen some as figurativeness. Otherwise, he would be contradicting most of the great Fathers of the Church, who tell us that the soul without the body and the body without the soul are not complete persons, and that they can't function in a complete manner without each other. Nor can they inherit paradise or hell until the general resurrection. We'll go into that a little later, though, and explain to you why hell doesn't exist yet and will not exist until the general resurrection, according to the Holy Fathers. St. Hippolytus of Rome is expressing his understanding of the Church's teaching about death and the partial judgment. There is no particular judgment. We talk about the partial judgment because only a part of the person is there. And the partial judgment consists in nothing more than the soul, the intellect which is in the soul, becoming aware of its ultimate destiny. There's nothing else to the partial judgment. And we'll find this out also from the Holy Fathers. All the rest of it is some kind of folk religion, superstitious nonsense, drift-ins from Gnosticism, or people's personal opinions and views, as we'll find out from the Holy Fathers. Now, St. Hippolytus of Rome tells us, "But now we must speak of Hades, in which the souls of both the righteous and the unrighteous repose. It is prepared against the day determined by God, in which one sentence of righteous judgment shall be applied to all. The righteous and those who believe not in God, and have honored as God the vain works of human hands, idols fashioned by themselves, shall be given endless punishment. But the righteous, who indeed are at present detained in Hades, shall obtain the incorruptible and unfading kingdom. To this locality there is one descent. At the gate thereof, we believe an archangel of God is stationed with a host. And when those who are conducted by the angels appointed to the souls have passed through the gate, they do not proceed one and the same way, but the righteous are led to the right, into the light, being hymned by the angels stationed there. Here where there is no toil nor thorn, only the face of the Holy Fathers and the righteous is seen always smiling as they wait for the rest and eternal revival in heaven, which is to come, and we call this place Abraham's bosom. Now, on the other hand, the unrighteous are taken away toward the darkness on the left by God's angels, who are ministers of his chastisement. They do not go willingly, but are pulled by force as prisoners, and the angels put over them, reproach the souls, and threaten them, forcing them down into the lower parts. Now, this is interesting that we need to reassess how most people understand Hades. If both the righteous and the condemned are both in Hades, why? Because Hades is not an actual place. Hades is a state or condition of the mind, and it's an understanding of the mind. It's either in darkness or in light. And being in darkness or in light, it knows its future destiny, of total separation and living in darkness even in the midst of light, or living in the light before God. But notice that it's God's angels who are doing all this. The demons are under the same condemnation as the sinners. The demons will be judged by the righteous, not the righteous being judged by the demons. So we'll continue with discussions of this further directly from the Holy Fathers. But I want to repeat again at the last. If the Ariel TollHouse teaching was a doctrine of the Church, it most certainly would have been mentioned in some of the councils of the Church. But to the contrary, we heard from the one council of the Church where the teaching was enunciated that the teaching of Ariel TollHouses would be totally impossible, according to that council of the Church, because it's immediately, instantly, the partial judgment takes place immediately, and people are either in light or darkness immediately. They're not going anyplace. They're in a state of, this is a psychological condition, a condition of knowledge and understanding. And this is what the council of the Church says, and there is no council of the Church, local or ecumenical, which in any way contradicts this, or in any way mentions, hints, or gives the vaguest wisp of any idea of Ariel TollHouses or the demons judging the soul as it goes heavenward. Demons might terrify the soul at the moment of death, and they might be there where the soul experiences that darkness, might also experience the presence of demons which will rage against it and try to terrify it. But Ariel TollHouses? No. Not in any of the divine services relating to funerals or memorial services, not in any council, not in any canon of the Church as is mentioned. Therefore, it is simply impossible that it could be considered a doctrine of the Orthodox Church.